Hey WAP champs, how you doing today? If you are watching, do jump on and say hi. So I think, can I share this? If you have the ability to share this video, have a look down. I've never done it before. Maybe you would like to help me out here. So share the video if you can. Let's get some more people on. If not, I'm sure people will catch the replay, so no worries. So, for those of you who don't know me, hey Rachel, I'm Sally Garozzo, and I help people who are sick of anxiety and depression. I help them to overcome it by assisting them to create a fantastic mind-body connection, which helps them to destroy their inner critic and kind of resurrect their inner cheerleader. And I do that through coaching, through hypnosis, through energy work, and through just ongoing access to me, really. So I'm also a vocal coach, and I'm also the founder of Inspiring Talks Brighton. So I help people with public speaking. And so just let me know if you're here, jump on and say hi. Hey Bridget, nice to see you. So today's live, this is the 6th in the intro series, and today's live is all about stuff that I love that has helped me navigate anxiety. So products, therapies and habits that I've created, and I want to share them with you. I want it to be a little bit more informal, I suppose, more of a chit chat. So jump on and share with me any of your own personal anti-anxiety tricks that you've got up your sleeve. It's great to share because, you know, how else do we find out about these things? And it gives us food for thought to help us investigate our own pathway, if you like. So just to keep it all in line with the other lives, if you haven't read the pinned post, do so after this, and you will see all the different hashtags. So I like to keep the conversation funneled if possible, but if not, don't worry about it. And the hashtags just help us to keep the conversation a little bit more streamlined, so that we can maintain the positivity. Otherwise you can end up just ranting, and you know, don't really like that, to be honest. So today's hashtag is check this out. So if you've got anything that you wanna share with anyone on the anxiety compass, just put check this out next to your post, and I am going to share some of mine. So let's get started then. So I'm going to start with products, and the first product I love, I never go anywhere without it, is peppermint oil. Now this is a doTERRA oil, and doTERRA is a big network marketing company. I don't sell the products, but I like them and I've got somebody who I buy them from. But obviously, you know, you can get peppermint oil, it's pretty readily available. And the reason I love peppermint oil is because it's extremely refreshing and gives you like a real kind of zingy hit. You can pop it on your tongue, you can pop it on the roof of your mouth, and I just find, because anxiety is like a hot experience, I find that the peppermint oil helps to cool the system down. It's a real quick fix. The trick is to not get dependent on it because it can end up being a safety and avoidance behavior. But you know, if you do need it, it is there for you. And you know, the olfactory system is very, very powerful. It's mood inducing. It makes you feel like you are instantly outside, and that's what I love about it, because for me, anxiety tends to come upon me when I'm inside and I'm feeling a bit claustrophobic. So the peppermint oil just gives me that sense of outsideness inside. Also, I recommend anything woody. So I'm using Balance. This is a doTERRA oil, but you can use sandalwood, any of the woody type aromatherapy oils. Pop some on your feet and it helps to ground you. So these contain the essence of wood, and wood is very, very important for kind of stoking the fire. So a lot of us going around with all this fire energy, inflammation, sort of this doing energy, and we get burnt out. So the wood helps to stoke the fire. Hello. Now, do I say your name? Is it Neve? Can you type in how to phonetically say your name? It's an Irish name, right? And I think it's Neve, but let us know. See, I can't even say who you are, but I think you know who you are. Okay, so grounding oils, wood. Walking in the woods is good as well, and I'm going to be chatting about that in a moment. The other essence I really like are the citrus ones. This is wild orange. Yeah, it's Irish and you're saying it right. Yay! Thank God. Welcome, Neve. It's great to see you. Yeah, so wild orange or any kind of citrus. I've got one here which is a blend of, this is chia. And I'm not selling doTERRA oils. I'm just saying you can buy any kind of, these are great though, but the citrus oils really help lift your mood. So if you're a bit depressed, then go for a citrus oil. So I also have this necklace, and inside is a pad, and you can pop a drop of your favorite oil. I tend to use peppermint or wild orange on the pad inside, and then when you want to, when you're out and about, you just have a little sniff. It's like sniffing a bit of cocaine, but you know, obviously not. With the essential oils, what I tend to do is put them on my hand and sniff them, but obviously if you're out and about it can look a bit weird, and this is just like a quick fix. I got this for £10 on Amazon, and you get like 5 pads replaceable, so you can use different aromatherapy oils, so that's really good. Okay, what else? So yeah, feel free to jump on and let me know if you've got any things that you like to help with anxiety. So I find the aromatherapy oils are such a big one. They stop me from like eating late at night, and yeah, they're just like a little go-to, really, a little treat, a healthy treat. So the other product I've been getting into recently is an app on my phone called Voxer, V-O-X-E-R, and this is a walkie-talkie app. And I use this instead of sending text messages. So all my friends and family, I've asked them to get on Voxer instead, and you literally hold the button down and you talk into the app. Now the reason why I like this is because A, it stimulates conversation. It makes you more sort of active and external, rather than writing a text message where you're hunched over and you're staring at the screen. And I don't know about you, but sending text messages often makes me, I wouldn't say stressed, but it induces like that tightening. So with Voxer, you're having I mean, of course you could just make a phone call, but this is a really quick way of getting a piece of information across to somebody without sending a text message. And I use Voxer in my coaching with my clients, and we ping messages backwards and forwards. You can either pick up the message a bit later on like a text, or you can sort of go backwards and forwards like a kind of walkie-talkie conversation, and it's quite fun, and it gets quite addictive as well. So that's Voxer. That's what I like. I like living, you know, an anti-anxiety lifestyle. So any product or therapy or service that I can use that helps streamline my life, makes me more relaxed, then I'm down with that. So the next thing I like to do while I'm working is to play theta healing background music. Now your brainwaves can speed up or they can slow down. When you're in sleep, I think sleep is delta. Alpha is beta I think is the waking state, and then alpha and theta are the sort of hypnotic states. So when you're playing theta healing music while you're working, it helps just to soften your brain, and your brain sort of tunes into it subconsciously and slows the brain waves down and helps you to just feel a little bit less stressed while you're working. So that's my little thing there that you can use. The other thing that I really like are using crystals, and I've got a couple here today, two of my favourites. So this is hematite. And how do I use my crystals? I don't take them with me everywhere I go. I tend to use them in just sort of meditation, really. So hematite, I find, and I also find with crystals that in order to feel the benefits, you have to sensitize yourself to them. So sorry, I thought someone was coming in then. And I think it's practice. You practice holding the crystals and then meditating and just tuning into the essence and the energy of the crystal. Some people are more attuned to them than others. I am probably in the middle. I don't feel the energy all the time, but the more I work with the crystals, the more I feel the energy of them. Like now I can feel the difference between the two. So I've got this here, which is a cluster, it's called aragonite, and my hematite crystal. There are loads and loads of crystals that you can get. And the reason I love them is because they are earth energy. And anxiety is kind of fire energy and that sort of wiry, buzzy energy. And anything to do with the earth or watery stuff, anything to do with water cools the fire, and anything to do with earth kind of stokes the fire, so it gives the fire fuel to keep going. So these are very, very grounding crystals, and this one in particular sort of dissipates tightness and stress. And I put this one on my solar plexus, I lay down with it and meditate with it, and I find it really, really helpful for, so I can almost feel it dissolving and burning up and just dissipating that sort of tension that you sometimes get with anxiety in your solar plexus. So that's really good, like emotional busters. And then the hematite is very grounding. I read it in my book earlier, very good for sort of highly emotional situations. So if I was going into a law court, or if I was going to a funeral, or going to see somebody who triggered me, I would probably meditate with that for a while. And also, you know, it's just a reminder to stay grounded, I think. Just going to have a slurp of my tea. Okay, the other thing that I like, little treat, is dark chocolate. Now, I only eat 85%, and that's because you don't want too much sugar, and I only eat it in the morning because it's very, very stimulating, but it does have a feel-good element to it. So obviously only organic, only the best, but there's something about dark chocolate that really does give you that sort of sense of feel-good, whether it's that treat element or whether there's something in it. I would imagine that some of the chocolatiers will tell you there is something very, very special about cacao. And obviously, you know, there's cacao ceremonies, so I'm sure there is something very sacred and very special about the cacao. And if anybody knows what that is, Bridget, you might know, then do tell us. So yeah, dark chocolate I feel is a real mood lifter for me sometimes in the mornings. Not all the time, but sometimes. But it is very, very stimulating, so don't have it after midday, otherwise you'll get those palpitations. Talking of which, now, if you do suffer with palpitations and it worries you, don't be alarmed, because it's not to do with your heart, it's to do with your adrenaline. And I do take beta blockers. Here they are. And I don't take them all the time. They are called propranolol. I don't take them all the time. I've tried taking them all the time, but it doesn't work for me because they do make you very sleepy. Now, they're a really good thing to take if you are being kept awake with a thumping heart. They just slow your heart rate down. It kind of steadies the heart rate, thereby having a kind of an effect on your emotions, making your emotions settle. Because, and I'm just looking at my notes here, there are 4 components to how we feel. You've got the emotions, you've got the brain chemistry, so the hormones, you've got the nervous system, and you've got your muscles, and they are all interlinked, okay? So when you change one, it affects them all. And that's how beta blockers work. They slow the heart rate down, or they steady your heart rate, and then that makes you instantly just feel a bit more relaxed. It relaxes your muscles and it relaxes your emotions. So I would never, I'm not anti-medication. I believe you've got to do what you've got to do to get through the day. But obviously, you know, you want to try and get off meds as much as possible and live a natural life. But I do believe in doing what you need to do if it gets too bad for you. And sometimes I am able to settle my heart rate down on my own without any beta blockers through doing breathing exercises. But if my nervous system is too stimulated, then I know, you know, I'm just not going to be able to do this tonight. So I will take a beta blocker. They do make you feel a bit groggy in the morning. But if you do a little bit of exercise, it will soon clear. So the other product that is quite useful. Rachel, you've said, I had a bad night with palpitations last night. I feel fit for nothing right now. Oh, you poor thing. I totally understand. And that used to be me literally every night. Do you take beta blockers? Have you considered them? Is it something that you've spoken to your doctor about? Let me know, and I can also help you with some breathing exercises as well. With the breathing, you literally imagine breathing in through your left nostril, and then you imagine breathing out through the right, and then you imagine breathing in through the right, and imagine breathing out through the left. And you do that while you're in bed, laying down, and you just keep repeating that cycle. You just use your imagination, like imagine breathing in this stream of light into one nostril and then out through the next. So I've just realised, sorry, I'm covered in highlighter. And it balances the brain. It gives you something else to focus on. And when you breathe, you are calming down your nervous system, which has a knock-on effect on your brain chemistry and on your emotions. So do give that a go. But let me know about the beta blockers. Okay, so I am moving on. If any of you have got any questions or comments, or you want to share anything, do let me know. I'm here for you. So, just going to have some water. Water's very good as well for keeping us well. Water actually cools the fire. So, what have you said, Rachel? No, I don't. I am certainly going to see about them as I'm getting them more and more. I take sertraline one a day. Yeah. I couldn't get on with sertraline. It made me feel awful, and I actually feel like I need my emotions. I don't want to numb out, but I would never say to anybody, do not take things like that, because you have to do what you have to do to get through. And especially if you're going through a really difficult time, a really emotional time, then you try things out. But beta blockers are really good at just take them like a paracetamol as and when you need them. Okay, so therapies. I want to talk to you a little bit about some of the therapies that I've experienced that I really like, my go-to therapies to help me if my nervous system's been oversensitized, or if I just need that general maintenance. So one of the things that I do here in Brighton is floatation. And this is when you go into shallow water, about a foot of water, and it's highly concentrated with magnesium, and you float and you pull the lid down. You can either have a little light on, or you can have it completely in the darkness. And it's designed to reduce sensory overload, any kind of sensory stimulation, because we are so stimulated all the time with screens, with conversations, with things we've got to do with our thoughts, that we're very rarely in complete darkness, floating, literally suspended in water. And I don't advise floating if you are very, very, very tense and stressed in that moment. But if you're sort of relaxed-ish, go and have a float. It really helps you to wind down. It allows you to let go. You can be very, very aware of how loud your thoughts are, of how tight your body is when you're having a float. So the first time I had a float, I did have a bit of a wobble, and my mum had a bit of a wobble as well, but I actually quite enjoy it now and really get into that sort of weightless feeling. You don't have to control your thoughts when you're in there. You let your thoughts just drift from one thought to the next, like a little stream of thoughts, really. And it's quite nice. I've actually had some major life revelations while I've been floating and made some really important decisions. And it's just a really wonderful way of releasing muscle tension and turning off stimulation. Hey Jess, welcome to the live. You're very welcome to share any of your go-to products, therapies, or habits that you've got for anti-anxiety. So you're welcome to be interactive with us. So my other go-to form of therapy for anti-anxiety is acupuncture. And I don't know how many of you live in Brighton, but there's a couple of low-cost clinics in Brighton where you can pay anything from 30 quid to 50 quid per session. And acupuncture realigns your body's energy. Hey Jess, just popping in at work. As at work, but we'll catch up. Okay, cool. Good. So acupuncture. I am not a Chinese specialist, but I do Chinese medicine specialist, but I do know some people who are, and I'm going to get them to do some sessions for us in the Power Hour and to tell us a little bit more about why acupuncture helps with our nervous system. But my experience of acupuncture has been, it's very, very sedentary. So obviously you can get sweaty palms when the needles are going in. That's normal, that's perfectly natural. But once they're in and you're laying there perfectly still, I find it very, very sedentary, and I find it really lovely. And sometimes I feel a bit on drugs afterwards. I go home and I have the best night's sleep after acupuncture. Like I say, I can't tell you specifically what it's doing. I know it's balancing the meridians. I know it's balancing the body's energy. But if you do suffer with anxiety, do consider getting some acupuncture. You might need it regularly. You might need like 1 a week for 6 weeks to really feel the benefit. But for me personally, I find it good as a sort of to help me mop up any nervous system crap, if you like. So I don't find it preventative. I find my habits preventative, but I find acupuncture help. Yay, Jean, you got here, lovely. Well done. I'm so happy you got here. Big up for Jean. She finally got here. Well done, lovely. Jean's one of my previous singing students. So she's here now. And yes, so acupuncture. There we go. The other thing that I love having done regularly is massage. And it's really important to choose a therapist who is really in tune with themselves, who's really in tune with the elements, and who's in tune with anti-anxiety. What you don't want is a massage therapist who's going to go hell for leather on your muscles and make you more and more stressed and tense, because I find I need massage not for getting the tension out of my muscles, but for stimulating or relaxing. It's that touch, it's the feeling on the skin, it's feeling held, it's feeling cocooned, it's feeling nurtured. And what that does, it releases oxytocin, and actually oxytocin is like a wonder drug. It opens your arteries, it soothes your nervous system. So that is why I have massage. I've got a great masseuse called Nadia. She's an Ayurvedic practitioner, and she does long sweeping movements, a bit of stroking, a bit of scalp massage, I'm just getting all nice and tingly thinking about it now. And yes, yeah, so massage is important. I also think it's important for like restoring trust in other humans as well. So it's not just about like a quick fix therapeutic like digging massage. You want that cocooningness, you want to feel nurtured and supported. Okay, the next kind of therapy I wanted to talk to you about is hypnotherapy. Now obviously I'm a bit biased because you know I'm a hypnotherapist. The reason I love hypnotherapy for anxiety treatment is because it gets to the whys. Why are you the way that you are? What happened to you as a child? What beliefs did you create to make you worry, to make you feel like you had to be perfect all the time, to make you feel this sense of responsibility? Pardon me. So, and hypnotherapy itself is slowing the brain waves down. So it's very, very relaxing, even though you are digging around in your past and looking at scenes in your childhood. It's very cathartic. And it's, you know, it's about the language, reframing the language so that you create this, you know, internal cheerleader to push you forward into feeling differently about certain situations. It's about reframing it. So with hypnosis, a situation, a bit like a phobia, you know, I worked with somebody the other day who was frightened of needles. It's like, here's the needle, here's why you were afraid of it. Now you're not, because you don't need to love a needle, but you can be indifferent to a needle. And it's the same with anxiety inducing situations. In the past, you would have reacted in that way to a situation, but now you can reframe it and turn it into excitement, like public speaking, like doing Facebook Lives. I really look forward to doing my Facebook Lives now. I'm if you go back and look at the first one, you will see how nervous I was. Funny. And now, you know, it's I've reframed it into excitement because I love connecting with you guys. You make me feel happy. And it's that sharing. So it's reframing, it's turning it around, it's using language, because the mind only uses words and pictures. So in hypnotherapy, we're using words and pictures to help you. Am I back? Yes. Okay, we're back now. Right. The other therapy I wanted to, I haven't actually got that much time left. Reiki. Reiki is another thing that I love to have, and it works in the same way as the therapeutic massage. It makes you feel cocooned, supported. I'm going to see if I can fix my dodgy internet. Are we there? Yes, we're back. Reiki. So it's an ancient Japanese form of healing. I give Reiki and I receive Reiki, and I use crystals as well, and it's very, very soothing on your nervous system. Makes you feel supported, cocooned, and kindness. You know, kindness is a therapy as well. There's a new book out called, can't remember who it's by, but it's by a nurse, and she's written all about her experience with kindness and why kindness heals. And so we need to be kind to ourselves, and Reiki gives us that opportunity to, you know, we're doing something for ourselves. Having Reiki on yourself, or massage, or any form of therapy, is an act of kindness on yourself. So the other things I want to talk, I could talk forever really, but I want to talk about some habits that I have. So one of the habits I have is I do not watch any kind of violence on the telly. Now I have Netflix, I have Amazon Prime, I've got Now TV, but I do not ever watch any kind of violence. I just can't. My go-to TV programs are things like Friends. Hey Helen, good to see you here. Just say hi to us. So I love watching The Big Bang Theory. I love falling asleep to that. I love watching The Gilmore Girls. the client list, anything that's kind of gentle and not too kind of, you know, I used to be able to watch things like Lost in Space and all these like gripping TV things, but I just cannot do it now because my nervous system is really quite sensitized, which is a good thing, but it also means that, you know, I can be a little bit of a snowflake. That is fine, you know, we are evolving towards a kinder society, and I think those people who are more sensitive will be the trailblazers. Yeah, so yeah, I don't watch any kind of violence on the telly, just can't handle it, not my thing. I start to feel very stressed and tense. Now, another one of the little habits that I have got is rocking, or doing that with my toes, yeah, twizzling my toes. Now, there's good scientific reason behind rocking. Have you ever seen an autistic person just rocking after they've been a bit stressed? Yeah, we rock babies, yeah. So rocking has got a mild sedative effect. And animals shake to release trauma after they've been chased. Oh my God, what have you said, Helen? The Handmaid's Tale nearly gave me a heart attack. You know what I mean? I had to walk out of the cinema. I was watching Elizabeth. No, Joan of Arc. Something about Joan of Arc, and they were burning her at the stake. It's like when you have too much empathy, anything, like, you just can't. I'm kind of okay with fantasy violence like vampires and werewolves, because I find all that quite sexy and dark, and I'm a bit of an emo, so I'm kind of okay with that. But, you know, Pulp Fiction, Quentin Tarantino stuff, oh God, no, it's awful. Anyway, where was I? Rocking and toe twizzling. So thanks for the heart. Give me some more hearts. I love hearts. Yes, and there's an exercise method called Feldenkrais, and it's all to do with, oh, thanks for the likes and the hearts. It's all to do with this, having this sedative effect. So what Feldenkrais is, tiny, tiny movements, very meditative, that help the synovial fluid in the joints, help the nervous system, and basically calms you down, slows you down. And so if ever you are having or if you've had a panic attack, or you're feeling very anxious, just stop, breathe, and do a little bit of rocking, a bit of hugging, self-compassion. So any kind of hugging will make you feel nurtured. Hugging and rocking. This is great if you're having a meltdown. I do this quite a lot if I need to. So, and I also read today that rocking helps with dementia patients and helps people with depression as well. So if you know anybody that's got dementia or is depressed or is struggling, this kind of soothing, nurturing movement can really help. And get them a rocking chair. Rocking chairs are great. I'm going to get myself a rocking chair. Okay, the other habit that I wanted to quickly talk about was body language. So your muscles are connected to your emotions by way of your nervous system. And so what I wanted to talk to you about was something that I do is when I'm typing stuff on my computer, rather than having that sort of face, you know, attractive, smile. So there's this quote in this book, I Heart Me, I won't grab it, I'll put a link to it. He says, fake it and you'll make it. So it's not fake it till you make it, it's fake it and you'll make it. So if I'm feeling a bit grumpy and I'm typing away, I'm like taking life very, very seriously, just have a smile and eventually you will feel your emotions shift instantly. So try that when you're walking down the street, have a smile, walk around smiling and give people eye contact. Be the first. Don't wait for someone to do it to you. Be the first. And it's the effect is amazing because they will smile back at you and they will say hello and you'll be flooded with these happy hormones. Trust me, you just have to take that little risk first. And do it at the gym. Nobody talks to each other at the gym, but just take a risk, smile at someone, and it works. It makes you feel instantly good. So my last little habit that I wanted to share with you is about walking barefoot in nature. And I do this at any opportunity, or walking barefoot on a natural surface. There are vast amounts of electrons in the earth, and earth is our home. We are literally of the earth. We are made up of the same stuff. So by walking barefoot on the grass, on stone, on, you know, I saw this advert yesterday. You can buy these things that you literally peel them onto your feet, like peel on, peel off. And if you want to walk across stones and on like gravel barefoot, they just stop that like ow-ness under your feet. I don't know what they're called, but if I find it, I'll post the link. I think they look fantastic because grounding is now a science. If you Google it, if you pop it into YouTube, you will see how effective grounding is for our mood. Now, Jean, you've said feel the fear and do it anyway. It's so true. It's so true. Just do it, eh? And you will feel way better. You'll feel amazing afterwards. Staying in your comfort zone is the worst thing that you can do for anxiety and depression. You have just got to, you know, you haven't got to jump out of an aeroplane or do anything as scary as that, but you do have to stretch yourself. Even if going to Lidl is a stretch for you, you have to do that to trick your mind into believing that you are safe. So walking barefoot is Helen. So agreed. I use grounding and recommend it to my patients a lot. What do you do, Helen? Are you a nurse? Are you a therapist? Let me know. Yeah, it's just, after this live, I am going to go out and I'm going to walk barefoot. It's to do with the electrons, it's to do with the ions, and it is an antidepressant. Johan Hari, in his book Lost Connections, talks about getting back to nature as a wonderful antidepressant, because we are of nature. We are nature. We are the trees. We are water. We are fire. We are everything. So if we're disconnected from it, we are literally disconnected from our life force. Okay, I have talked a lot. Yeah, I'm a traditional acupuncturist. Cool, Helen. That's amazing. I was just talking about acupuncture as a anti-anxiety method. So maybe you could tell us how it works. Report back and tell us how it works. So my challenge to you lovely WAP champs here today is to invest in yourself, to find a product, to find a therapy that works for you, that soothes you, that soothes your sensitive soul, your sensitive nervous system, or something that helps you to prevent anxiety. This could be in the form of a product, a therapy, or a personal habit. And report back. Let us know how you've been getting on. Use the hashtag check this out. And we would love to hear your updates. Now I'm just going to do a quick salesy bit at the end here, just to let you know if you've been inspired by this live, if you feel like you might want to find out what I do, if I can help you in any way, shape or form. Obviously there's no pressure at all. So I help people become masters of anxiety, masters of themselves. And I do this through some packages and programs that I've put together that are now on my website. I haven't officially launched these packages yet, so I'm kind of beta testing them, and they are quite heavily discounted. You can work with me for 3 months on 3 different types of issues that you're having, 2 months on 2 types of issues, or 1 month. You can have like a 2 to 3 hour session with me just doing hypnosis. What was I going to say? I was going to say, oh yes, the package, how I work with people is through ongoing support, and I'm having a lot of coaching myself at the moment, and I really have this new belief now that support is the new black. By that I mean, you know, spend your money on, this is how I've been choosing to spend my money, on getting support for myself rather than buying new clothes or new sunglasses or I don't know, things that kind of depreciate in value. I'm deciding to invest. Hey Katie, lovely to see you, my love. Katie's another singing student of mine. Yeah, I'm choosing to invest more and more of my finances in myself, and the support is the thing. So when you work with me, you get that. You get ongoing, unlimited Voxer support, email support, phone support. You also get RTT, which is the hypnotherapy. You get coaching. You get some fantastic bonus sessions with me, which is to do with energy work. Support, love that. Support is the new black. Yes, so I will work with you. I will show you how to breathe, inspirational breathing. I will work with you to release emotions using music and crying or screaming and shouting, getting rid of that anger. And I will work with you on some Qigong, some wonderful, amazing Eastern practices that I can show you, which will help to soothe your sensitive nervous system. Hey Katie. So you can work with me. I have put a link in the bit above, and check them out. There's no obligation. You can have a phone call with me for free. Yeah, so that's the end of today's live. Next week is the last one out of the series, the intro series, and the next one is going to be all about pleasure. Why pleasure is so important, because it literally is the antidote to anxiety. Where there's pleasure, there's no anxiety. Anxiety is just nowhere. It just like disappears from existence. So brilliant, hey? So after the intro series is finished, I'm going to continue doing these lives, but I want you to let me know what you want me to talk to you about. So I'll do some polls. You can message me privately, or you can put messages on the group. I'm quite active in the group. And I'll also be introducing the Power Hour, which is going to be at the moment once every 6 weeks. We're going to do a split screen live with another professional. So if you are a professional and you know a lot about anti-anxiety treatment, you might want to do that with me. Feel free to contact me and we can arrange that. But the Power Hour is there to bring in other experts to help you to live a anxiety-free life. The one we've got coming up on the 11th of June is with my lovely friend Kirsty Kiani-Fard, who owns Uniquely Organic in Hove. She set up this spa when she was 22. And she is an energy worker, and she knows a lot about the energy body, and she's going to enlighten us about how we can use our energy body more to soothe our nervous systems. Jean, you've said, sounds good to me, yay! Okay, my lovely, gorgeous WAP champs, thank you so much for sharing this time with me. Feel free to add more comments, I'll answer them all, and feel free to get in touch if you want to. Lots of love, have a wonderful day, love you all, bye!